Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we're continuing on with our Alphabet Soup Challenge, and we are already in the U's.
Yes, which is actually going to be one of our last letters, as
One
it
of our
is one
last
of the
few.
last letters of the alphabet.
This is true.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I mean, this one only has 2 games, but V we have, I think, a couple as well. W we have a couple as well, so it's kind of surprising some of those last letters do have. I think W might even have around 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Z and X we don't have any, and I think Y we have 1 or 2. So
Yeah.
similar to this one, but yeah, so we're almost all the way through the alphabet.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've been keeping up with us, checking out all our videos, you know we're kind of just going to go over our plays of the games that we did this year. While we're going through all of our games, and we're kind of just talking about whether or not we want to keep them or not. That's kind of the reason for the challenge. Trying
the whole reason.
hopefully clear some games out. We haven't probably done as many as we should.
Hopefully.
But I think we're going to have one final video at the end, and I'm probably going to force myself to call 10 to 15 more games.
Oh, boy.
So you'll want to stay tuned for that one.
He's just making room on the shelves for more games, guys. Don't worry.
That's really the thing. But we'll get into the U games. And the first one is kind of just a stand-in for all the games of the Unmatched series that we have. This one just happens to be Cobble and Fog. But if you watched, I think last year, this was like just snuck onto my list of top 10 new games to me last year. And it was the Cobble and Fog. I didn't have any others at that point.
Yeah.
But I just had a really great play of it, and then ended up getting some other characters.
And then all of a sudden there was a t-shirt, and then there was some more Unmatched characters.
So yes, I enjoy this game quite a bit, and it's just been constantly heating up, rising even more for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a kind of plays best 2-player game, one-on-one, but there are some ways you can play it at 3 or 4 players as well, if you want to, either teams or other things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of a card play game where you are just trying to take down your opponent, and each character kind of has their own deck. There's some cards that repeat from character to character, but
there are some that are very similarly structured.
Right, like I think a lot of them have like the feint cards or whatever that can kind of cancel effects on other cards. Yep. But it's just such a smooth system, and kind of the way the board sets out what areas you're in, it just makes it really easy to battle. Because sometimes I feel like the battling or war type games are just a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like line of sight, oh, you have to be this and so forth. This one makes it very, very easy to tell, like, oh, I can attack that person or I can't.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's my favorite U game, I guess, or games.
I
the
would
whole
say
series.
I probably agree with that.
I figured you would.
But yeah, I like it a lot. I didn't play it last year when you did. I think I just got into it this year. But there are literary characters that if you've been following at all, you know that I probably am literary and I'm inclined, to read books. And so when I started seeing that some of these characters were in this game, I was like, well, I have to try that now, like Beowulf and Sherlock Holmes and stuff. And so that really got me into it. And then I'm not a player that likes like player interaction and like battling or like negative types of effects, but in a game where that's literally what you're supposed to do, like, then it makes sense for you to play it that way. And so it's actually been really fun. It's like the last couple of games we played, it's been like, oh, I have this character or I have this card, and I have to keep charging after you. Like, I cannot not charge after you. Like, I have to just try it. And so that's been really fun to just try and learn a couple of the characters and take you down.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it's kind of a quicker game helps that too.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Makes it so. Because, yeah, I don't know that I'm into combat or fighting games that much either, but this one is quick enough that it really works.
And it's maybe not as strategically intense as, like, Summoner Wars, which we recently played, so that's always nice. You just got the cards you got to work with them. So. Right.
But yeah, so our second and last U game is Underwater Cities.
Yeah.
Which is one I looked on I knew it had been a while since we played it, and I saw on the app, and it actually surprised me because it seemed more recent than I remember it being, but it said me and Jesse played this in June of 2020.
Oh, really?
Which I felt like it was probably even further away than that, but
Really?
I'm like, I guess, I mean, that's still a long, over 2 years ago, but
Yeah.
still, it seemed like even longer than that. But, yeah, this is a Vladimir Suchy game, so...
One of many on our collection, I
Yes. If you check out our, P video, I think we have 3 of them.
Oh, 3, okay.
3 of them. Prodigal's Club,
Yeah.
Praga, and Pulsar.
Yes.
And they kind of, I don't know, some of them have sort of a similar vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think they're just very Euro-y. I would say the theme is there, but I wouldn't say that it's in any of them as ever like, slapping you in the face or whatever. Like, especially like Pulsar. It's like a space-themed game, but it doesn't... Does it feel like you're in space?
I feel like Pulsar is the most thematic because there
Really?
is little spaceships that you're moving around.
Okay, I mean, that's fair.
All right.
I feel like Underwater City seemed pretty thematic. You're
Really?
building your little thing up.
Yeah, I didn't have a submarine to build my city.
That's true. You weren't using submarines, sadly. But this one's kind of got an interesting card play and action play to it. I think it's compared to Terraforming Mars sometimes.
I could see that.
I highly prefer Terraforming Mars personally, but I can see where there are some similarities. And yeah, the actions on the board kind of have 3 different colors, and the cards that you play have 3 different colors as well.
Yep.
And the actions on the board are weaker to medium to stronger based on those colors, and the cards are kind of the opposite. And you can trigger your cards if you take an action of that color. So you're kind of, if you're taking a stronger action and playing the card, you're getting a weaker card, stronger, or else vice versa. So it's interesting that they can make that type of thing work, and it just feels interesting. I like the game. I definitely prefer Terraforming Mars by a long shot. And this one, just kind of like his other games, I find them really fun as a nice Euro-y, crunchy exercise.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the T-series of games. If you watch a video on that, plug. I talked about like Teotihuacan and Zulkan, and, well, we don't have Zulkan, but that T-series of games, they're like ones that I enjoy playing, but I don't know that they'll ever be my favorite game. Praga might. I've only played that once. I don't know. I'd have to play it more to see. That one feels like the most likely to possibly be one that could jump into like my top 50 games of all time.
Okay.
Whereas, I don't know if this one ever would.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy kind of what it brings to the table.
It's different. I mean, it's the same, but it's different. So, interesting how all of his games can be so crunchy in the same way, but the play is, I mean, it's probably fairly similar, but in their own ways different. I don't know how to describe that. So.
But yeah, so I think we'll probably be keeping both of these. I don't think, if I'm going back, I know Unmatched wouldn't, and I don't think Underwater Cities would be one that's going to be at the top of the list to call, or bottom of the list, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah. So I think both of these will be staying in the collection for at least a while.
Yeah, I think we've got some interest in our gaming group to try this one out. So.
Yeah, but.
Yeah. That's all of them.
That's all of our
Big list.
mini U games. But yeah, definitely check out the rest of our series, and like I say, stay tuned for our last few letters and our finale video. We'll see what's all included in that. Might recap every single game.
Survivor style, you're going to jump on a jet ski and like read off the name of the games that are
being called. It's going to be very dramatic, so you better stay tuned. But otherwise, we hope to see you on those videos, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.